Resident Evil Veronica announced. So we just had the Summer's Game Fest, and I gotta say, man, I'm really satisfied with what was announced when it comes down to the trailers and everything like that. I wasn't able to watch it live, unfortunately. I had some stuff I had to take care of, but when it comes down to what we were able to get, as far as trailers go and some of the games, just being cinematics, well, some actually showed some gameplay and stuff like that. I'm hyped, man. I'm really excited to see what's going to be coming in the future when it comes down to a lot of these titles and how we're going to be getting it. Especially considering that, we had just had the Sony State of Play. And by the end of that, I wasn't too happy, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. There was a few games here and there that I was like, oh, that looks interesting or that looks all right. But there wasn't anything really that like grabbed my interest other than like Stuntman Hollywood, just because I thought it was pretty cool, the premise of that. Obviously, with God of War, I did my video on that. I'm not too satisfied with the fact that they're going in that direction, with the franchise, as well as with Marvel's Wolverine. I thought it looked pretty good. It wasn't anything that I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I can't wait for this to come out. I mean, I seen that there are some people that are really excited for Wolverine, but personally, I don't know, man. Just the trailer, like even though it looked like fun, you know what I mean? It just there was something about it that just didn't give me that like excitement that I got. But yeah, as far as the Summer's Games Fest, I thought it was really good. I do want to give also a quick shout out to Geeks and Gamers, the website, and to Alex here because of the fact that, like I stated, since I wasn't able to watch it live, I was able to kind of go through this article and get like a rundown of a lot of the trailers and announcements that were made, which was really cool. So I just wanted to let them know, thank you guys for that, because that did make things a lot easier for me. That way I didn't have to sit there and watch the whole, I think it was like a 3 hour show, just because there are like, things in between each trailer that, like, isn't necessarily something you have to kind of watch. But yeah, as far as video games, they started it out with Resident Evil Veronica, which I thought was awesome. Now, I do want to start off by saying I really do like the fact that they are changing the title from Resident Evil Code Veronica to Resident Evil Veronica. Because of the fact that, with them doing the remakes and everything, usually it would be Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. But with this, they're able to leave it so that you can differentiate between the two games and everything like that, especially if you're trying to like look something up online, or get some information on one game versus the other. You can actually go, specify which one you're going for. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. And yeah, as far as the trailer goes, I thought it was pretty good. Unfortunately, we won't be able to watch it and do like a reaction to it. I did do a video earlier that I recorded where I did do a reaction to the trailer, but for some reason, I guess my on my PC, I've been having some issues recently where I can't watch a video without, like, me playing it, and the frame just freezes and it stays on one picture. So we're gonna have to unfortunately skip the trailer itself. I will leave a description in the I mean, I will leave a link in the description for the trailer itself. So if anyone does want to watch it, you can check out the description and do so from there. Chances are though you've already seen the trailer if you're watching, this video. So yeah, but I gotta say, man, I was actually very satisfied with what we were given as far as, the trailer goes for it. Now, I do want to specify that there is a little bit of a grain of salt that I'm gonna be carrying when it comes down to this remake, because of the fact that there was some information that was given out, I think like about a year ago or so, when, this Code Veronica remake was being discussed and everything, that supposedly Capcom isn't going to be showing as much love to Resident Evil Veronica as they did to, let's say, Resident Evil 4 remake. There was, speculation that it was going to be, obviously remade, and they were going to do their work with it, but there were going to be some things that might have been removed, skipped over, kind of changed, the kind of similar to how they did it with Resident Evil 3. So hearing that information when it was originally announced kind of left me a little bit skeptical, because of the fact that I don't want to see this game that I actually, know and love, get less care than some of the other remakes. So especially because of the fact that this era of Resident Evil, I am a huge fan of, because I do have all the games on the GameCube. So from Resident Evil 0 to 4, so obviously I have Resident Evil 0, 1 remake, 2, 3, Code Veronica, and then 4. And I've beaten them all. I've loved playing those games. I really enjoy them. So seeing that they're doing a remake is something I think is cool, especially because when I was younger and I would play these games back in the day, there was lots of times, especially with like Resident Evil 2 and 3, where I would think to myself like, man, it would be so cool if they were able to remake these games and just update the graphics while keeping the same kind of gameplay. Now, obviously, gaming has shifted in that sense where it is more of like a third person type of view versus the fixed camera angles, but if we were able to kind of keep that same tone and spirit of those original games, I'm all for it. Which is one of the reasons I feel like I enjoy Resident Evil 2 for the most part. There is, my gripes and issues that I have with it, but I feel like they were able to kind of keep it a little bit close to what the original was. So yeah, when it comes down to this trailer, man, I'm like I stated, I'm liking what I'm seeing. It starts off with Claire kind of going to Chris's hotel where he's been staying ever since he left Raccoon City, and it shows her in first person. Now, one of the things that people have been a little bit worried about is the fact that it does seem like with the trailer you are going to be playing in a first person perspective. Now, with this article here, I was able to kind of go over it and everything like that, and we got some information from Dusk Golem. So, for anyone that doesn't know, Dusk Golem is one of the individuals who's been giving out a lot of the information when it comes down to what Capcom's been doing when it comes down to the Resident Evil remakes and the franchise as a whole. Um, he isn't always accurate. There is some things that he'll come out with statements of, and then it'll turn out to not be true. But there are lots of things as well that he has stated that have ended up being the case. So seeing that he has come out with this information, I thought was pretty cool. And he's pretty much just states that with the release of Code Veronica, it will be a third person perspective, and that's personally what I prefer when it comes down to the Resident Evil games. I'm not really the biggest fan of first person, so seeing that they're going to be going in that direction, I thought was pretty cool. And one of the other things I thought was pretty interesting was that, as you can see here, he states that they didn't cut any of the content, which I thought was good. They just moved some of the stuff around. So be prepared for a lot of things to be shifted around, remixed, reimagined, or moved. And that's one of the things I'm kind of hoping for because I don't want anything removed, kind of like the same way they did when it came down to Resident Evil 3 remake, where they took some of the content out. When let's say you don't have the tower section, they remove the graveyard, stuff like that. Because when you remove some of that stuff, especially as someone that plays the older games, it ruins it for you, man. It takes you out of the immersion from what you knew before. Now, obviously, for the newer players that are coming along that have just gotten into the franchise, they won't notice that type of stuff. But for someone like myself, who's an original fan of the original games, it is something that will kind of be a little bit of a hindrance to the game itself. But as far as the trailer and everything, I thought it was great, man. There's sections of it that they show where you're on Rockport Island and everything. I'm sorry, Rockport Island, and it is one of those things where they do show areas of the game. They show the dual pistols. You see like the island, the tone and everything. It matches it really well. So I'm really hoping that this game does well and it is able to kind of be something that is going to be true to the original, like I stated before. But yeah, as far as the fact that this was the first announcement, I feel like it was a really smart decision for the Summers Game Fest because they decided to go with something that they knew was gonna hit players hard and be something that we could all get excited for. So yeah, man, I'm really excited to see what's gonna be coming of this and the direction that it's gonna be going in because like I stated, the original Resident Evil games are some that I love so much. So seeing that this is gonna be getting some love and a remake coming out, I'm excited because of the fact as well that once this game is released and everything and we're done in 2027, the next Resident Evil game that should be, I believe, coming out will be Resident Evil 0 remake. And as someone that played that game a while back and was a little bit dissatisfied with it because I feel like it wasn't quite the same as I remember it from when I played it originally. I feel like Resident Evil 0 has a lot of potential to be even better than the original when it comes down to them deciding to do a remake. So we'll have to wait and see when it comes down to that, and yeah, just go from there. But yeah, man, when it comes down to this game right here, I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we're gonna be getting and what's gonna come of it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you are a Resident Evil fan, are you looking forward to seeing the direction that they're gonna be going in when it comes down to this remake and the fact that they're gonna be going in a newer version of things when it comes down to this game. So if you guys can let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, Until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.